Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video we are going to understand this problem 1733, minimum number of people to teach. This is a very interesting problem, so you should understand and then you should try to do by your own. Okay, very first let me tell you that how to implement it. Okay, so the problem saying that there are in different languages from 1 to n, we can say, and each person may know one or more language. Understand? And it is also saying the friendship are given as a pair. So for two friends to communicate, they must have at least one language in a common, right? So if a pair of friends cannot communicate, it means what? This doesn't have common language, right? So we may choose one of them and teach them one new language, right? So they can communicate. Okay, so the goal is we have to find the minimum number of people we need to teach so that all the friends can communicate, right? That is what the question is saying here. Okay, so what I'll suggest, I'll pause this video and go through the statements so you will understand. Let me read for you. Okay, very first it is saying on a social network consists of m users, right, and some friends between users, right? The two users can communicate with each other if they have the common language. So you are given an integers number, so this is a language we have given, sorry, n number of people we can say, and languages we have given and friendship we have given. It is saying that there are n languages, number from 1 to n, and language at I is the set of language the ith user knows, and friendship at I, it means it connects with two user that denotes the friendship between you and we. So you choose one language, so you choose one language and teach it so some of users, so that all the friends can communicate with each other, and you have to return the minimum number of users you need to teach. Understand? That is what we have given here in this problem. Means our goal is to find the minimum number of people that we need to teach so that all the friends can communicate. Understand? Let's try to understand through the example. Okay, so the example saying that we have given, this is what we have given. Let me tell you how. So let's suppose we'll go through this example where we have given n equal to 3. Okay, and let's suppose the language we have given is 0, 1, 2, 3. So there are we can say the I, we can say, starts at 0, 1, 2 and 3. So language at I, let's suppose called 0, we have 2, right? What does it mean, right? Similarly, we call about the friendship at 0, 1, 2 and 3. What is given here? Okay, so let's try to understand through the steps. So can I say in the very first step that what language do people knew, right? So we'll say there are persons are here. Let's suppose the person call person 1, right? We can say that, and that is we have is 2. Can we say that? Then we have person 2, and that is 1, 2, we can say. Okay, so there is 2 persons there. Okay, similarly we'll say for p3, person 3 is 1, 2, and person 4 is we have is 3. So these are the persons we have, right? Those knows the languages, right? Let's try to understand here. Means we can say person knows language, right? The person who knows some language are these are the person. Now try to understand the in the step 2 from the friendship, right? Means we want to check the friendship, right? We'll say check friendship. Okay, so how we are going to check the friendship? We'll say okay, so there is 1 we have and 2 we have. It means person 1 knows person 2, right? Means we can say p1 knows p2, right? Does p2 knows 1 3? There is no 1 3 is there, right? You can say person 1 knows person 2, that we can get from the here, right? But does person 2 knows 3? No, it doesn't, right? There is no 1 3 is there, right? So we'll say P1. So this is correct, but person 1, person 2 knows person 3, right? No, right? Person 2 also doesn't know person 1, person 3. We'll say no, this is not happening. Okay. Similarly, we'll check for 1 3, right? When we check for 1 3, we'll say person 1. Let's suppose person 1, uh, we have is what we call, we know the person. Let's suppose for person 2, he knows, but does person 2 uh, knows 3, right? Person 1 knows person what, 3? Yes, he knows. We can say yes, he knows, because see, he knows the language 2 3 we have, right? So this is what we have already. That is why we can say person we are talking about. Okay, this is the person we knows. So yeah, as you can see, right, the person 1 contains 1 2 here, right? So we can check for person 1 3. Sorry, it was 1 3. Okay, that was the confusion happened here. So 2 1 3 1 1 2 and 3. Yes, so we can say okay. Now we can say, so the person 1 knows person 2, right? Why? Think, because here, as we have seen, right, because person knows 2, right? Person 2 knows person 1. So we can say it's working. Let me clean here. Okay, I think the reduce the size here first. Okay, let's suppose that you understood this is your person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4. Okay, so this is our step 1 that we are talking about. Okay, can we say that person 1 knows person 1 knows person 2? Likely we can say. Again, person 2 knows 1 3. This is not happening because we have not seen till now, right? So person 2, we can also say that person 2 doesn't knows this one, right? Let's talk about person 1, person 1, that is 2. I'm talking about this one. Let me generalize it a little more. Okay, this is your person 1, person 2, person 3, and person 4, right? Can be write like this. Let's suppose we have 1 and 2, right? It means I want to say person 1 knows person 2, or we can say 2. That is fine. Yeah, this way is correct. Person 1 knows person 2. Okay, then we can say person 2 knows person 1 3. No, right? There is no overlapping, right? No overlapping. Okay, so we can say okay, this is yeah, this way is fine actually, right? We'll say no, this is not happening, so this will say no, but this is correct. Okay, now let's talk about 1 and 3. Okay, when we checking the friendship here, right? So I'm talking about this one, so this is correct. Okay, now we have, let's suppose we'll talk about 1 3. We don't have given, but I want to check the friendship, right? We'll say 1 3. Does person 1, so person 1 having 2, right? And person 3 having 1 3. So I'll say okay, person 1 means 2 and person 3 is 1 3. Not 1 3, 1 2, take 1 2, right? So person 1 is 2 and person 3 is 1 3, 1 2. Okay, so does these two know each other? We'll say yes, means this is perfect, means this is also correct, this is also correct, this is also correct. Okay, now talk about 2 and 4, right? So we'll say Person 2, it means 1 3, and who, and person 4, that is 3. Does they know each other? We'll say yes, because you have to check in where, you have to check here. If any of they know any of this, let's suppose we are talking about 2 4, because 3, it knows 4, right, in the friendship one. And this way we can say, okay, now I understand, so this can work. So we can say 1 and 2 only can't communicate. Understand? Like that we can say can't communicate, right? They can't communicate. Like that you have to check, and then you have to find. This is manually, so I'll tell you how to do that. That is fine. Let's understand how to fix the communication. Okay. Okay. Very first, let's suppose to fix, let's suppose we have 1 and 2. Okay. And we can do that. How? Let's suppose we have person P1 who will teach, right? Means let's suppose person, let's teach person 1. Like that we can say, let's teach person 1 a language, right? Teach person 1 language 1 or 3, right? Or we can say teach person 2 language 2, right? Means either way only one person need teaching, right? So we'll say, okay, we need only one person to teach. In this we say, okay, we need one person to teach. Okay. Similarly, it is saying teach third person language to user 1, right? That we have taught him, and then 3. Because if you talk about 1 3, right, 1 is not belongs to any of this, right? 3, 1 with 3 is not there. 1 with 3, see, not is there. It means any of the, let's suppose the 1 goes to what? Here is 4. 1 goes to 2. 1 not goes, means he can talk. Then 1 cannot talk to any other one, right? But here if you see the friendship, 3 is talking to who? 4 and 2, right? Like that we can say in this group, right? So in this way we can say we need at least one more who need to teach them, right? Okay. And that is why we are getting 2, because we have to teach user 1 and user 3. Okay. So we have to teach person 1 and person, this one we can say. Okay. Okay. Now we should understand that what is the intuition, that how we will solve that. For very first you should identify the friendship problem, right? Means friends where the two people do not share the language, right? And then we should check very first what we will do. We will check if the friends doesn't share any language, right? No sharing language is there. Okay, we can say. Then we can say collect all the people involved in this friendship, right? We have to collect all the people from this friendship, right? Who involved in the communication, a friendship channel. Okay. Third, we'll try to teach each language from 1 to n, and then count from the problem set, right? And do not know early. Okay, because we don't need to do that. Now in the last step, what we should do, we will find the minimum count, we can say. If we know the minimum count, we'll return this is our answer. So what we should do very first, let's suppose if we want to go to for the approach, what we should do, right? Think. So very first, we will build a language set, right? Or set, we'll build a set language for each person, right? Then we'll go through each friendship that we have given and we'll iterate. Then we'll check if they share a language, it's fine. Otherwise, if not, we'll mark them as a need possible teaching. So we'll create one thing where we'll mark them that we need the teaching. Then what we should do for language 1 to n, we'll check, count how many people don't know the language, and we'll keep track of the minimum count. Okay, and then we'll return the answer. Let's try to understand how we will do that. So let's try to understand what are the things we have given. We have given and we have given language, we have given a friendship, we have given. It means very first, if we know the language, right? Let's suppose I'll say int, let's call the people, we'll say language that we have given. Okay, these are the languages we have given, right? We can get the people, we'll say length, right? We can get. Now we'll create a set. So we'll try to understand how many people knows the languages, right? This is what we will take as an integer, and for each we can say who knows the language, we'll say new, and we'll say set, and we'll give. Okay, this is what we will do. Understand? Then we'll go for all the elements, and we'll say start from 0. All the people we are going for all the people, we can say, and we'll go for I plus plus. Iterate over the people and check their friendship. Update the friendship. So let's suppose he knows how many languages, right? So we'll say initialize as each, we have to initialize as a new as set, we can say, right? Because we have to initialize at each index, we have to initialize, right? Once you initialize, what you need to do, we have to add the person that he knows the language. Or we'll say, let's suppose the language that he knows, a person knows, we'll say languages, right, at I, we can say, and we'll check he knows or not. We'll say yeah, no at I dot just add the person that he knows the language, and the language is nothing but the lang. Okay, we can take here lang. Understand? So we can add all the people who knows the language. Very first we will do that we have done in the here. Now what we should do, let's talk about the step 1, where we'll collect the program who has the problem, right? You can say problematic, we can say people who have the problem, right? Let's call them in a set. We'll put a set, and we'll say not like that, we have to use set. Here we'll pass an integer, and we'll call them, this is our problem people. Let's give the name as a problem, and then we'll say new as set. This is what we have given. Right now we have to get from the we have to get from the friendship, right? So iterate over the friendship. Let's call this friendship, and iterate over this friendship. Okay, so from the friendship, one by one we have to iterate, right? So we'll say the friendship of, let's take to the friend, let's take to friend. Okay, friends pair we can say. From friendship we'll get one friend, right? If we'll get one friend, we'll get the array of elements, right? That was given. Now let's suppose we have int a is a, we can get from where? From this friend. There is two friend a, we can get from index 0, we can say. Similarly we have int b, friend b, and that we can get from where? At 1, right? Like that we will get. Okay, so this is friend a, friend b, we can say we can get. Now what we should do? We should check. Let's suppose we'll create a boolean flag, boolean, and we'll say is okay, and we'll give initially false value. Now we should check for, let's suppose for language. Let's suppose language who know a, right? Can get from where? We can get if no at what? A, right? Knows we can get from there. So no at a, it means we are talking about here. There will be a list of what elements will be added right here. So we have iterated over here, so we can get all the languages who knows this person, right? Means a. So the friendship, the friend a, if we'll talk about, let's not say a and b, we should give the friends a, and this is our friend b, right? So what we can say, that friend a knows the languages, that we can iterate, and this we can say this I is nothing but a friend a, right? So from friend a we'll get all the elements here, right? And we'll say okay, he knows all the languages. That language is nothing but the elements. So we'll say if no of friend p, right, contains what? The language that we are searching. Okay, we can say language a. If he knows the language, friend b knows the language, means he should contain that part, right? In that case, is okay is not false anymore, right? It should be true. It means we have to mark it as a true, that friend b knows the uh, language, and here will break. No need to further iterate over the uh, language, right? Then we'll check if this is done. If we have checked it, means it should be updated. Is okay, it should be updated. Otherwise we'll say is okay, is okay, is not true, means this is false, we can say like this. Okay, it means problem is there, means we have to teach him. Just update a problem that add we will do. This is a set, so we can add over there, and we'll say okay, what we need to add, means we have to add friend a or friend b, think. So I'll suggest we'll add friend a who needs the teaching, right? Similarly we need to add both problem dot add would be also, both friend need a teaching. Okay, we can say that, but we'll think about it later. Just for now you think that both needed. So this is what we need to do. Once you will come out from here, you just need to check if the problem, if the problem set is empty, we'll just mark it is empty. We should return what? 0. Means there is no need to teach. No teaching required. Okay, in this case. And this is when teaching required, right? Teaching required. Okay, now what we need to do? Look like I think no. So if it is here, so friends, okay, no, we should not do here because we have not completed the whole friendship, right? And how we'll know that? So you just need to provide pass after this outer for loop, because we have to check there all friendship should be completed. Now what is the next step? So step 2 we have to do is frequency of the language. Let's call frequency of language. Okay, languages we can say. Leave for the language. Okay, among problem people. People. Okay, so very first we'll check for all of them. So let's suppose we'll create a frequency and we'll give the name is a frequency. Okay, so this frequency will contain, let me give you what. Let's take the all the language. I'll say n+1 will take, and let's go for all the person first. Who is the person? Who is the problem? Let's call person who has problem. We can get from where? Problem. You have already knows the problem, right? Problem. Okay, these are the problem peoples. So we'll iterate over the problem people. Let's call this let's suppose from the IV want to check the language he knows, right? Let's suppose those some problem people we have, and this is what we can say the language he knows, right? So how we can get the language? So the language he knows is, we can say we can put over the languages, right? We can get from above. The variable name was there. We'll say okay, for the language we will check this person contains the language, he knows the language, right? And will increase frequency and at the frequency at what language, right? And we'll say okay, just do plus plus, so frequency will get increased. This is done. After this, what we should do? We'll take a variable, we'll call this max knows no equal to 0, and we have to return for that. So what we need to do, we'll go for all the language. It says language will start from 1, and we'll say okay, language will go till less than equal to n, because n number of language we have given. And so we'll say language plus plus, and what we should do, we have to find the minimum. We'll say max, and we'll say this is nothing but our the max knows that we have created here. We'll say equal to, we can get the max language, and we can get what? The frequency at language. We can get the frequency at language, right? So these two will give you the max value here, right? And to return the minimum, what we need to do after this for loop, just return, you know, the problem size. What is the problem size? problem size, and we'll do minus this maximum. This one I thought it was maximum. Let me try. Language they are taking. Let me come here. Oh shit. B. This should be. I have taken this one. Okay. Index 3 out of bond of the length 3. Why? Let me check. Okay, let's try to understand what we have given here, right? Very first we got the language, right? Then we have taken the no, and we have added this p, so we can get iterate over the knows people. Okay, so very first what we need to do, we'll start from 0 to number of people, right? And then we will initialize new hash map of no, so that we can add all the languages that this person knows, right? This is what we need to do. So this part is fine. Let's try to understand here. We have a state of problem people we have, right, who doesn't know the language in speaking. So we'll say over the friendship we can get the friend one by one, and we can get what, two friend we can get from A and from B, right? We can say friend A and friend B, we can say. Then we'll take a flag, and then we'll go for no, right? How many people he knows. If B knows means it contains, we'll say okay, it's true, and break it, right? That's all. Then we'll check if it is okay, right? Then we'll say okay, problem add this friend A and friend B. Okay, and once this is done, over this we can say okay, I think here we are doing some mistake. Let's suppose these are the friends. If we have completed this, then we know this is our for loop, right? We completed, right? In this itself done. Don't think this is required here. Is okay teaching. Let's go with very simple end. Okay, let's check. We have this for loop. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll try to, let's suppose we'll mark is etc. Okay, try to visualize. Okay guys. Okay. Okay, very first, if it is okay, all the language will check, and if the contents is okay, there is no problem. It means we should check what, is it okay? I think I remove it. Okay, let's suppose we'll say if it was is okay. If is okay is not there, it means what, there is some problem, right? And so we have to add on the this problem. We'll say okay, problem, let's add this guy, add friend A, and similarly add friend B. So both will be added. Till that we have seen, right? Once these are done, this work is done, right? Then we should check the problem is empty, return 0, right? So you try to review this one. Maybe I'm doing some mistake. I don't think I'm doing any mistake here. Next, you try this part where what we are doing, we are going for the all the frequencies, right? The frequency of language among the problematic we have to find. Very first, over the problem, you get the person problem who has the problem, right? And then for each problematic people, you will increase the frequency, so you know these are the person who have the problem. Then, right, so we can know the this thing. Then we'll say, okay, let's go with the max no, and the language will start from where, 1 to n, and language plus plus will say, and we'll say we'll get the max frequency here, and we'll return the problem size minus max no. So this will be our minimum value. I don't know what is the problem is here. Let's try to see. It is saying index or bond. Line number 18, 92. I am not taking extra space. 18. Language A. We get the friends. Okay. This should be an array. No, language. It should be language. This is the friend. So if they know, it will contain. Okay. Just like this, it is saying. Index of bond. Why? Index of bond. So let me write and let me pause and pause here, and we'll try to finish it. Okay, so I think now it should work. I have updated some of things. I'll tell you how, but let me first check it. Yeah, this time it's working, because see what I have done. The language we have to check like this, right? And then all the friends you have to check. How? These are the problematic people that we have checked, but we have to convert into zero based, right? And for that we need to do this activity. Otherwise it will give you the index of bond. Otherwise everything is fine. There is no problem, right? And we know the frequency count will find, and then we'll find the maximum. So this is what we need to do. Let me submit. So yeah, working fine. And that's all I have. I'll put this code into the comment box. You can get from there. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Please like, subscribe this channel, and let me know if you have any doubt.